Alright, hello. Close to the start of the month, a lot of people told me to use this weapon when I was talking about the best primary and secondary kit gun in the game. And I have. In fact taken a primary Vermisplicer with these parts right here. Brush is simply for the extra range it provides to beam weapons, so I can have 30 meters of range because I like that. And I even have this ribbon, which as you can see, it's a pretty good ribbon. It's really good. Am I disappointed? No. But is it better than the primary Tomb Finger? Also no. There is just so much utility and so much fun in the primary Tomb Finger and so much things you can do with it that I don't think that this is as good. But don't get me wrong, this is still really impressive. It is a beam weapon, which kinda cheating, because beam weapons are easily the best categories we have right now when it comes to any weapon in the game. Our most overpowered weapons, aside from AoE weapons, are mostly beams and chaining beams, and this is one of them. So it's still absolutely goated in that nature, and with my Riven, I know I could have kept it at rank 0, but come on. Am I really gonna waste 100% multi-shot and then not go debilitate instead? But yeah. If you try to go viral hit and you have a Riven like this, or you try to do 60-60 modes even, if I remove this and I just, let's say I go for something like Malignant Force rank 0 and then Rhyme rounds, right? I still have almost as much viral as heat damage. This is not good. And this is because the Vermisplicer is innate toxin. So in order to do viral heat, you would need, similarly to the Glaxion and rank 0 Battle Ribbon, and I cannot really do that. It was simply not as good as using this, because here I can also take advantage of the critical chance without having any issues whatsoever, so way better to go for this round. So let's see how it works. Obviously I'm gonna use Roar. If you don't know why you should use Roar with primary debilitate, I will leave Amulistic's video in the description that explains that in detail. And yeah, let's see what it does. But yeah, I have the secondary Vermisplicer and the primary Vermisplicer now. I can tell you one thing. If you want something that deals a lot of damage per shot or a lot of burst damage, the secondary Vermisplicer is better. However, if you want something for more AoE killing, the primary Vermisplicer is the better of the two. But I think for AoE killing in general, the Tomb Finger is even better than this. Although, especially with Roar, this goes pretty hard. With Roar, this obviously is truly something. But that's a bit due to the interaction Roar has with Debilitate as well, so yeah. Triple dipping and shit's very funny. When Roar runs out, I'm not gonna recast it so you can see the damage if you are not abusing Roar. And obviously, if it's not close to other enemies as well, it still loses a bit of damage. Not something too crazy, but it does lose a bit. I didn't want to put the electric flower, but it's fine. Doesn't really matter too much. Oh, hello. Love these things, by the way. I don't really care about looking for them, but sometimes they are really close to the direction that you want to be at, and it simply speeds up your mission. So these are pretty big W change. Kind of promotes people running around instead of camping as well, which is something I like doing in survival missions. I don't like camping as much, although it is more optimal obviously if you do that. And also, as you can see, one thing that I really like on the Tomb Finger is that the battery is really fast, and this one also has a really fast battery. Some kit guns like the Rattleguts have pretty slow batteries and it tends to suck. But this one, as a battery beam weapon, it has a pretty quick battery, which is really nice. So overall, really good. As you can see, even without Roar, I mean, damage is still really good, but not as good as Roar, obviously. Takes a bit more. If you're in a hallway and then you just abuse the chaining mechanics plus blast, and then obviously when I hit a guy and I get 10 stacks of anything, then Debilitate starts working and then adds to my CO and then adds a lot more damage. But the moment we reach an Eximus enemy, we realize that this is kind of placebo. Like, this guy we really need to hold the trigger down on him. But overall, it is still really, really good. Like, I still find this weapon very powerful. But yeah, Zoomfinger, especially if you're running something like an endless mission or anything like that, and get infinite ammo on it, it just so much more. It does so much more. But I like this, especially if you're a new player and you don't have access to any chain beam weapons aside from, let's say, the Kuba Nucor. This is a really decent weapon to have. It has some expensive mods, don't get me wrong. It's not easy to get something like Rhyme Launcher, say, or Primary Debilitate, so you shouldn't be able to get those immediately. But even if you run something like, let's say, just straight up Corrosive or Corrosive Heat, that would still do absolutely fine. It just wouldn't be super good. But I think Debilitate is carrying this by a lot, obviously. Debilitate is a big factor on why this is really, really strong. If I went Viral Heat with this, it wouldn't be as strong as what it is right now with Debilitate. And I feel like the moment you reach like level 200, level 300, this immediately falls off, while the Zoomfinger still absolutely blows everyone up, so... Not quite bad. I really see why people like this a lot, but go outside of base steel path without a proper setup and this will fall off. But when it comes for AoE killing and just ease of use, especially because it's a chain beam, this really gets the job done. Let's see its damage onto Acolytes. I haven't actually tested it since I put the crit mode onto Acolytes. Obviously before the crit mode it wasn't very good, but that's because non-crit versus Acolytes, so now it has a chance to redeem itself. Let's see. Okay, it's alright. Definitely way better. Before I would need at least 2 magazines before I added the critical delay mode, so this is definitely an improvement. Is it still like a lot better than anything? But it's not really anything too spectacular. But I mean, for a beam weapon, it's pretty good. And reminder that because I'm on a solo squad, Acolytes are way squishier. On a 4-man squad, Acolytes are way tankier. They get... This wouldn't do anything to them, most likely, so... Something to keep in mind, at least. It's still pretty good, not bad. I quite enjoy it. I don't know if I'm gonna use it at all, to be honest, because I feel like once you have taken something like the Tenet Glaxian, or the Borin Cannon, or even the Toridin Cannon, you probably don't need this anymore, as it's an inferior version of those weapons. Killing enemies with automatically latching tentacle beam things is funny, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. I'll let Zero kind of translate what I said. Yo, Zero, if you're in the comment section, yo, type something that describes this weapon to you, because this was your idea, and then I'll pin it, or yes, or something like that. Look out for that. Zero is Australian, so we won't see a pinned comment early on in the video. He has to like wake up and do shit, but yeah. Alright, let's see, what does it do to this guy? Okay, I don't know if I had roar or not, or it ran out, but I meant to use it with roar and test it there, and I think it ran out midway, so not bad. Definitely not bad. But yeah, I would still use something like the Glaxian, the Borin Cannon, or the Torrid instead of this, but as a kit gun, this is still really good. Not better than the Zoomfinger in my opinion, but really good. I do think that it has a place in your arsenal, and especially if you have a Riven, maybe not as good as mine, but pretty good, then you can make this even better. And maybe, you know, crit chance, crit damage on the Riven instead of the elementals that I have. The elementals that I have save mod space, which is really valuable, and that allows me to mod for more things in here that can make this even stronger. But I can easily see this if you have something like because it's just weird because it's an 8 toxin, right? So you could do blast toxin if you had a Riven mod with crit chance crit damage or something. You could do pure corrosive maybe, and then have a Warframe give you heat damage like Ember or Flare or Uriel, maybe, I don't know, something like that. You could probably do stuff, maybe Thermal Sunder, Thermal Transfer Augment. There is still quite a lot of stuff to be done with here, and I'm only really scratching the surface, just showcasing the weapon with Wisp and some roar buff, which is definitely more than enough for me, but you could probably make this even better than that. But I do like it. This is still really good, and I do recommend it. Thank you very much for watching another video of mine, and I'll see you on the next one.